Akira was a trash background character until one day he and his classmates got summoned to another world as demon cleanup crews, but he secretly awakens an overpowered assassin class ready to clap the Demon King. The story begins with two assassins crossing paths when they are on the verge of terminating the same target. The assassin dressed like a ninja spots his counterpart, who is our MC, on the rooftop, and fear grips him as if he saw a Halloween costume in the dark. Instead of allowing his fear to overcome him, the brave assassin decides to fight our MC for who is going to earn the right to terminate their target. While putting all his effort into the battle, our MC flexes on him like a pro gamer trolling a newbie in Call of Duty.
This is business!
After using all of the tricks in his book, every bone in his body was broken by our MC. He finally gives up and closes his eyes to wait for death to come to him. After taking care of the assassin, our MC moves over to his target and raises his sword to terminate him while he sleeps. Before he can, the scene transitions to his backstory. Our MC, Akira, was in class, reading isekai web novels on his phone, minding his business, like the regular background dude he is, when something insane happens. A magic circle suddenly opens in the middle of the class, scaring the students. While others are panicking, Akira remains seated, wondering what the magic circle is. Eventually, the magic circle does its job, and Akira and his classmates find them in an entirely different room, with strange faces staring at them like they are party clowns. While they are murmuring and wondering what just happened, an old priest tells them to shut their trap holes and listen to the king's address. The mic is passed to the king, who welcomes the students as heroes to the kingdom of Redis, which is basically the largest nation on the continent. The king mentions that they are under attack from demons and only heroes from another world have the power to defeat the Demon King and his minions. Akira hears this and silently celebrates because he has found himself in his favorite trope. After the king's address, the priest steps up to explain things further. He tells them that the next big thing is to identify the single hero among the bunch. There is a crystal ball in front of them, and the old man tells them to touch it one after the other. One by one, they start coming forward to touch the crystal ball to know which class they fall under. In addition, the old man lets them know that they can see their stats themselves just by saying status. The students follow the priest's instructions, and Akira realizes that he falls under the assassin class. While the dude beside him is yapping like a parrot, Akira is busy wondering why there is so much disparity in his stats and the ones he has seen so far. Finally, the student council president, Sato, walks up to touch the crystal ball, and he turns out to be the hero, with some pretty decent stats. While everyone is excited, Akira is super worried because his stats are ridiculously high and even higher than those of the hero. Akira also notices that something seems off with the rulers, and since he doesn't know the way of this new world just yet, he starts thinking of a way to escape the situation. When Akira realizes that it is almost his turn to touch the crystal ball, he tries out the skill, Conceal Presence, which is on his screen. Fortunately for him, the skill helps him become invisible to everyone, including the talking crow beside him. After they are done checking their stats, the students are led away. Akira follows the students from behind, and as he walks through the walkway, he notices that there is a camera installed on the ceiling. This further proves his point that something is not right, and they are not being told the full truth. Unknown to him, a rather special knight, Saren, can see him even in his concealed state. After searching through the castle, Akira finds an abandoned room and decides to become Batman by turning the room into his hideout. Since he is an assassin, he decides to dress like one before stepping outside to get information. Akira is blown away by absurd things he can do, like jump high and climb walls like a cat. Akira then returns to his invisible mode before entering the king's chambers to listen in on his conversation. The king is busy writing, totally unaware of the danger lurking behind him. Akira has the perfect chance to unalive the king, but he holds back from allowing his intrusive thoughts to win. The next day, Akira is frustrated with the idea that his classmates believe that the king and the top people are their allies. After they are done eating breakfast, the students report to the training ground where they meet Saren, who introduces himself as the Knight Commander. Also with him is a four-eyed dude, who happens to be his vice, Jills. Akira doesn't want to get involved in whatever boring trash they have going on, and he walks away. Saren notices this, and he follows him, leaving Jills in charge. Akira is standing by the fountain when Saren approaches him with a clear indication that he can see him. Akira is shocked, wondering if he had disabled his concealment status. However, Saren assures him that his skill is still active, but he is just a chill dude with special eyes, which is why he can see Akira. Akira reaches for his sword, but Saren quickly tells him that he has no intentions of exposing him. This leaves Akira puzzled since Saren should be on the king's side. Akira finally agrees to sit down with the dude, and he tells him about his plan to see the archives because he wants to know more about this new world he has found himself in. Saren asks him about the level of his concealment skill, and Akira reveals that it is maxed out, ultimately shocking Saren. Realizing that Akira has potential, he offers to train him and also, but in return, Akira will give him knowledge about his homeworld. With this, the two ultimately become partners. Momentarily, he starts learning about the new world, and while learning, Saren is also taking Akira through rigorous and physical training. Later on, Saren calls his vice to fill him in on everything that he has learned from Akira. It turns out that Akira and the first ever hero in the land are both from Japan. Their meeting comes to an end when Akira knocks on the door to come see Saren. Akira shows up with a cookbook, telling Saren that he found it in the archives while he was searching for more knowledge on the new world. Apparently, the book contains plans for a coup, and Saren confesses that he was the one who wrote it and hid it in the cookbook. Saren already figured out that Akira would find it one day. Saren then tells Akira that he has plans to remove the king because he is no longer right in the head and would sacrifice anything to see that he achieves his goals. Akira is surprised by this, but at the same time, he can see from the book that Saren is looking for a peaceful way to remove the king. Akira then mentions that it would actually be easier if he helped terminate the king, since he has no ties to the world. Akira then reveals that he once snuck into the king's chambers and he had the chance to end him, but he couldn't. Saren assures him that he did the right thing, since the burden of taking a life is one that is heavy. Saren mentions that he might be an assassin by class, but this doesn't make it easy for him to terminate people. Saren urges Akira not to stain his sword with blood, since he has plans to return to his own world. Akira then asks Saren why he is looking out for him, and Saren mentions that he is the only student who actually used his brain and figured out that something was wrong when they summoned. Akira is blown away when he hears this, and he nervously admits that he has never been praised the way Saren just did, since he was always in the shadows. Later on, Akira and the other students prepare to enter a dungeon to slay monsters. As they march to the dungeon, Akira notices a girl staring at them in the distance. He walks over to challenge her, and the girl tells him about the sacrifices that were made just to summon the heroes. Akira wants the girl to say more, but the girl tells him to come talk to her when he uncovers the truth himself. Not long after, the heroes start cutting down monsters in the lower level of the dungeon. Sato and his classmates soon run into a group of orcs, and he uses a smoke bomb that was supposed to help them, but it ends up making the orcs more powerful.
Oh, hell no!
The situation becomes more tense, leaving Sato wounded. Akira steps into taking on the monsters, but even his sword breaks. Nonetheless, he doesn't give up, as he collects another sword to take on the monster. Akira notices that Sato is not himself, and he calls on a Dispel mage to check on him. In the end, it turns out that Sato has been cursed. While Sato is being attended to, Akira takes on the monster. Realizing that the monster is tough, he tells Saren to cover him while he tries to use his new skill, Shadow Magic. If you liked this video and want to see what happens next, comment Sato is the GOAT to confuse the losers who didn't stay till the end.